places on this planet that test the very edge of human endurance. Places of staggering beauty and absolute terror. We're drawn to them, to their jagged peaks and their silent, snow-covered faces. We call them the Great Mountains, but we have a habit of measuring their danger with one simple metric: height. We look at Mount Everest, the roof of the world, and just assume it's the most perilous climb on Earth. But that's not the whole story. The real secrets to what makes a mountain deadly are far more complex and honestly far more terrifying. The deadliest peaks aren't always the highest. The real danger lies in the lethal forces of nature that guard them. The sudden killer avalanches that come from nowhere, the storms that boil up without any warning. This isn't about the glory of standing on a summit. This is about the harrowing true stories of climbers who faced these dangers head-on, and the crushing tragedies that happened when the mountains fought back. We're going to expose the lethal secrets of nature and the human stories from the slopes of the world's most dangerous mountains. What if I told you the world's most dangerous mountain isn't Everest or even K2? It's a peak in Nepal where for every 3 people who have reached the top, 1 has never come back down. With a fatality rate hovering around 32%, Annapurna 1 is, statistically, the most lethal 8,000-meter peak on the planet. Its name means Goddess of the Harvests, but for decades, it's harvested something far more grim from the climbing community. So what makes this mountain a place of such profound risk? The secret is in its very structure, a geological makeup that makes it uniquely, terrifyingly prone to one of nature's most unstoppable forces, the avalanche. Annapurna isn't just a single peak, it's a massive wall of rock and ice. Its southern face is a staggering, near-vertical cliff, but most climbers try from the north, a deceptive landscape of hanging glaciers and steep, snow-heavy slopes. This geography creates the perfect recipe for avalanches. The mountain is constantly shedding its skin of snow and ice, and any climber on its flanks is standing squarely in the line of fire. There's no greater or more tragic example of this than what happened in October 2014. That month, the trekking season was in full swing. Hundreds of hikers were on the popular Annapurna circuit, enjoying what's usually clear, stable weather. But far away in the Bay of Bengal, Cyclone Hudhud was churning. As the remnants of this powerful storm moved inland, they slammed into the high-altitude weather of the Himalayas, creating a freak event. In just 12 hours, nearly 6 feet of snow blanketed the region, catching everyone completely by surprise. For the trekkers and climbers caught high on the mountain, especially around the treacherous Thorong La Pass, the world became a white hell. Visibility dropped to nothing, the trail disappeared, temperatures plunged. One survivor described a small tea house at the top of the pass becoming a desperate refuge, with dozens of people crammed inside, fighting off hypothermia while they waited for a break in the storm, a break that wouldn't come for 20 agonizing hours. Some people, unable to take the crush, paid porters to lead them down. It was a fatal gamble. None of them survived. When rescue helicopters could finally reach the area, they found a frozen landscape of utter devastation. Survivors told stories of walking through waist-deep snow, where the only path was marked by the frozen bodies of their fellow trekkers. It was Nepal's worst-ever trekking disaster. In total, at least 43 people lost their lives. Trekkers, guides, and porters from all over the world. Hundreds more were rescued, many with life-altering injuries like severe frostbite. And the 2014 disaster wasn't a one-off. Annapurna's history is filled with tales of avalanches sweeping away entire expeditions. It's a mountain that doesn't need you to make a technical mistake to kill you. You just have to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. The secret of Annapurna is that its danger isn't about the climb itself. It's that the very ground beneath your feet is in a constant, violent state of change. So, while Annapurna's danger is its unpredictable avalanche-prone nature, our next mountain is a different kind of beast. This is a peak whose lethality comes from its sheer, undeniable technical brutality. This is K2, the second highest mountain on Earth. On the border of Pakistan and China. In the climbing world, it has a simple, chilling nickname, the Savage Mountain. With a fatality rate of around 23%, it's a place that makes you fight for every single foot of progress. Unlike Everest, there is no easy way up K2. Its slopes are steeper, the weather is more volatile, and its upper sections are some of the most technically demanding in the world. The mountain's most infamous feature is just below the summit, a narrow, ice-choked gully known as the bottleneck. To get through it, climbers have to move directly under a series of enormous, unstable ice cliffs called seracs. These are towering blocks of glacial ice, some as big as buildings, just clinging to the mountain face. A climb through the bottleneck is a roll of the dice. You're betting that the mountain will hold its breath just long enough for you to get past. On August 1st, 2008, that luck ran out in the most catastrophic way. Several international teams, some of the world's most skilled climbers, were making their final push for the summit. The day was already a mess. Crucial ropes had been fixed in the wrong places, causing long, frustrating delays that pushed everyone past their critical turnaround time, the last safe moment to summit and still get down before dark. Despite the late hour, many pushed on, reaching the summit as the light was fading. One of them was Ger McDonnell, the first Irishman to ever stand on top of K2. But as they started their descent in the darkness, the mountain showed its true savagery. A massive serac broke free from high above the bottleneck. The ice avalanche thundered down the gully, completely wiping out the fixed ropes, the climbers' only lifeline back to the safety of Camp 4. What followed was a desperate night of chaos and survival in the death zone. Climbers were stranded in the dark, above 8,200 meters, with no safe way down. In the confusion, 11 climbers lost their lives. Some were caught in the first avalanche. Others fell in the dark, trying to navigate the treacherous, ropeless terrain. Some just succumbed to exhaustion and cold. The story of Ger McDonnell is a testament to the kind of heroism that can emerge from a tragedy like this. Survivors say that instead of trying to save himself, McDonnell stayed behind to help 3 Korean climbers who were tangled in ropes after another ice fall. He worked for hours in the dark, at an insane altitude, trying to free them. It was an incredible act of selflessness. Tragically, a second serac fall is believed to have swept Ger and the climbers he was helping off the mountain. He died trying to save others. The 2008 K2 disaster is still one of the darkest days in mountaineering, a brutal reminder of how quickly K2 can turn triumph into tragedy. The mountain's secret isn't hidden. It's right there in its steep, icy, and unavoidably dangerous design. The stories of Annapurna and K2 show the terrifying power of these mountains and the incredible courage of the people who face them. It's a world of extreme risk and profound human drama. If you find these explorations of the limits of human endurance compelling and want to uncover more secrets from the world's most extreme environments, take a moment to subscribe and click the bell icon. Your support allows us to keep telling these important and often forgotten stories. Some mountains earn their reputations over centuries. Our next peak, located in Pakistan, is one of them. It's called Nanga Parbat, a name meaning naked mountain. But for most of its history, it's been known by another name, the Killer Mountain. It's the 9th highest mountain in the world, and its past is soaked in tragedy, especially from the early pioneering days of Himalayan climbing. With a fatality rate of around 21%, its danger is legendary. Nanga Parbat cemented its notoriety long before modern mountaineering. In the 1930s, it became a national obsession for Germany. The expeditions back then used a heavy, siege-style approach, but they were no match for the mountain's ferocious defenses. The 1934 German expedition ended in a disaster so agonizing, nothing like it had been seen in climbing history. After reaching a high point, a team of German climbers and Sherpas was caught in a brutal, week-long storm. Trapped high on the mountain, they began a desperate retreat. One by one, they succumbed to exhaustion, altitude sickness, and the cold. In the end, 3 famed German mountaineers and 6 Sherpas died. But the mountain wasn't done. In 1937, another German expedition returned, determined to finally conquer the peak. On the night of June 14th, disaster struck again, but this time it was swift and absolute. A massive avalanche buried their high camp, Camp 4, killing all 16 men inside, 7 German climbers and 9 Sherpas. A diary found later contained a chilling final entry. Our situation here is not quite safe from avalanches. These 2 disasters, claiming 26 lives in just a few years, are what truly earned Nanga Parbat its Killer Mountain moniker. Its massive and complex faces, particularly the gargantuan Rupal face, the highest mountain face on Earth, and the treacherous Rakiat face, are constantly hit by avalanches and wild, unpredictable weather. Unlike other peaks, there's no single, obvious path to the top. Every route is a complex and dangerous puzzle, and the danger is still there. In 2013, the mountain was the site of a different kind of horror when Taliban militants attacked the base camp, killing 11 climbers in a shocking act of terrorism. Nanga Parbat's secret is its brutal history. It's a mountain that has fought back with every weapon it has, avalanches, storms, and unforgiving terrain, for over a century, leaving a legacy of tragedy that's a constant, sobering reminder of its power. No discussion of dangerous mountains is complete without Mount Everest. At 8,848.86 meters, it's the highest point on Earth, a symbol of ultimate achievement. But the deadliest secret on Everest today isn't its height or its weather or its technical difficulty, though all of those are extreme. In the modern era, Everest's greatest danger is us. Its popularity has created a unique and deadly problem, the tragedy of crowds. While its overall fatality rate is much lower than Annapurna's or K2's, hovering around 3%, the sheer number of climbers means Everest has claimed more lives than any other mountain, with over 340 deaths recorded. The modern dangers of Everest were thrown into the spotlight during the tragic events of May 10, 1996. That day, multiple commercial expeditions were all trying to summit at the same time, creating dangerous traffic jams on the route's most technical sections. The path to the top got so crowded that climbers had to wait in long lines, burning precious time and oxygen while stuck in the death zone, the altitude above 8,000 meters where the human body can no longer adjust and is, very slowly, dying. Several teams ignored their critical turnaround times and pushed for the summit late in the afternoon. It was a fatal decision. As they started down, a violent blizzard engulfed the upper mountain, with hurricane-force winds and blinding snow. Visibility vanished, fixed ropes were buried, and the trail back to camp was completely gone. Climbers became disoriented and lost, some just a few hundred meters from the safety of their tents. They ran out of bottled oxygen, their bodies already weakened by the altitude and exhaustion. That night was a desperate struggle for survival. Guides Rob Hall and Scott Fisher, leaders of two of the main expeditions, died high on the mountain trying to help their clients. In total, 8 climbers lost their lives in the storm, making it one of the most publicized and scrutinized disasters in mountaineering history. The 1996 disaster became a brutal cautionary tale about the commercialization of Everest. It raised deeply uncomfortable questions. Had the mountain just become a commodity for wealthy clients, some of whom didn't have the experience for such a dangerous place? Were guides under too much pressure to get clients to the top, even if it meant pushing past safety limits? The secret of Everest's danger today is this complex and lethal cocktail of human factors mixed with natural hazards. It's a place where summit fever, overcrowding, and commercial pressures can amplify the mountain's inherent risks to a deadly new level. The mountain itself is a huge challenge, but it's the human element that has so often turned a difficult situation into a catastrophic one. So, the secrets of the world's most dangerous mountains are not mystical curses or vengeful spirits. They are real, physical forces. The unstable geology of Annapurna that creates a constant avalanche threat. The brutal, technical steepness of K2 that offers zero room for error. The violent, unpredictable weather of Nanga Parbat that has trapped climbers for generations. And on Everest, it's the lethal mix of all these natural dangers with the unique pressures of human ambition. These peaks show the raw, unforgiving power of nature. An earthquake in a distant range can trigger an avalanche that erases a camp in seconds, like it did on Lennon Peak in 1990, claiming 43 lives in what's believed to be mountaineering's deadliest single incident. A sudden storm can turn a triumphant descent into a desperate fight to survive. And yet, for every harrowing tragedy, for every sobering statistic, there are still people drawn to these slopes. Why would anyone do it? Maybe it's not just about conquering a summit. Maybe it's about facing the ultimate challenge, about discovering the absolute limits of your own body and spirit. The stories of these mountains aren't just tales of death. They're also stories of incredible courage, selfless sacrifice, and a deep human desire to touch the heavens. But in the end, the mountains always have the final say. They stand as silent, beautiful, and terrifying monuments to the thin line between our ambition and our reality.